Lio, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. How are you doing today, mate? You okay?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm actually doing more than all right. I'm doing pretty damn good. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I love that. I love that. And I'm enjoying your shirt as well. You're looking badass today as well. It's good.
Thanks, man. Look, this is a dog shirt right here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for showing up looking awesome for the interview. I've got to ask you. I do enjoy a good success question to start an interview. But the thing with you is you're not just a wrestler. You're not just been wrestling, since for many years now. You're also a musician as well. So I'd like to start by asking you a question about success, and that is, how do you define it as a wrestler and as a musician? And are they one and the same or two different things?
They are one and the same. They definitely are one and the same. They are two different things. That is a fact for sure. Um, yeah, it's amazing. I love doing both. I love, finding the time to incorporate everything that I love. I think that is what defines success to me is doing the thing that you love and being able to live sustainably off of it. So that defines success to me. It's not about how much money you make or what you've done or where you've been. I think success is being able to live comfortably off of doing something that you love consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. And you obviously have had that entrepreneurial spirit for a long time. A lot of people that we work with, they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to do multiple things, but they worry about that time management. They worry about, overworking themselves. So I want to know what does it look like? Because you've got a family to support. You wrestle, obviously. You've wrestled for many years in many different organizations, and build your own music videos, you create your own stuff. Obviously, you're a trained cinematographer. So what is your work-life balance like, Lio, if there is one?
There is one, but it is very, I try to take a very abstract approach to everything that I do. And that's because, you know, things don't work the same for everyone. I'm very business minded, but my parents were entrepreneurs. I grew up literally watching my parents do what they love their entire lives without having to answer to anybody. They were their own bosses. They were their own brand. They were their own business. So I've definitely learned from that and picked up things that currently help me with my life and my career. But I've done a fair share of things myself that I've been so grateful to have learned at the age of 28 years old, that I feel comfortable at this point to run my life like a business, because I'm kind of the face of my own brand. So yeah, it's hectic. But there's support there. But it gets easier when you know exactly what it is you want to do. I feel like things can kind of get complicated and stressed out when people are trying to be an entrepreneur, but they don't really know what they want to do.
Mm.
So I feel like with me at this point in my life, knowing exactly where I want to go, who I want to be, what I want to do currently, as far as short-term, long-term plans, it feels calming. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it because I love it.
Yeah, and that comes across in other interviews you've done, and obviously in the work itself. And before I, do go into a little bit more depth about your wrestling career and obviously your time with Impact, I wanted to ask you a quick sort of music theme question. And I've got a favorite track of yours. It's called "I Wonder," and it's more stripped down than some of your other work. Than obviously like "I'll Be Me," which you've just released, and some of the other stuff you've done. Would I be right in saying, Lio, that you don't like to box yourself into one particular genre as a musician, or am I off the mark there? But it seems to me like you kind of play with a lot of different genres as a musician.
That track, "I Wonder," was definitely that was one of my earlier tracks, which is actually the highest stream song that I have still to this day. So many people ask me about that song and tell me that they love that song. So Yeah, I feel like that was at a point where, before that, I dropped an EP that consisted of 5 tracks that kind of had different genres within them. Just a little mixtape to give people to hear, or just to see what they like, what I should be doing. I was new, so I was trying everything out. But when I created I Wonder, I did want to, like you said, strip things away, kind of have things come more from the heart rather than just try to make a song out of thin air. So yeah, that track was pretty cool. I remember to this day writing that song in my kitchen on the floor. So yeah, it's pretty cool that people still talk about it to this day.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful stripped down track, and I think a lot of people, love your visuals as well. And I did want to touch on, the visual aspect of what you do as a musician, as well as a performer in a wrestling ring and an Impact. It feels like to me you put a lot of weight in the visual aspect of what you do across your brand. Again, you mentioned previously being trained as a cinematographer and doing your own videos and things like that. How much weight, Lio, do you put into that visual side of what you do, into your brand, on a visual aspect? Do you think about that a lot, or is it just a small part of it?
No, it's a huge part of it. It's a huge part of it, and it's a very important part of it. Um, it's how you want things to be portrayed, how you want things, how you want people to feel while they're watching it. Yeah, that's very important to me. The visual aspect is probably the core of the brand. Yeah, so I put a lot into the visual aspect of everything that I do.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of where you are with your career now in wrestling, and obviously the extension of your brand, it has now reached Impact Wrestling. What does it mean to you on an emotional level? You have worked everywhere. You have worked all over the world. What does it mean to you on an emotional level to have reached Impact and to have the opportunities, which we'll talk about in a second, that you're having now at Slammiversary? But where is your mind at, and where are your emotions at now, having got to Impact Wrestling at this stage in your career?
This stage in my career, I feel like I've definitely reached a point where I am exhausted by not being me 100%, 265 days a year. This is a special time. I feel the most relaxed I've ever felt in my life. I feel calm. I feel confident. I feel healthy. And I feel like I'm moving in the direction that I'm supposed to be going. So I'm super happy to be at Impact because I feel like it's the perfect opportunity for me to just simply be me and not care what people think, because you shouldn't. Nobody should. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, and you could certainly tell that. And again, I'm very excited for you, Lio. It's great to see you in this position. And what does it mean to you then, as an extension of that previous question, to be challenging for the X Division title, to be at Slammiversary? Obviously, what a whirlwind to come in, supporting Nick Aldis, but now you're here with such a title with such history, and to be at Slammiversary and to be in Impact now. Where's your head at? You must be excited going up against Sabin as well. It's going to be, that's going to be an incredible match for so many people to see.
I know. I just beat Sabin. I just beat him clean. I know he's going to go into this match a little more pissed off than usual. He's probably doing a lot of work right now.
Yeah.
And I have to prepare for that. By all means, I'm not taking Sabin lightly.
No.
I know I knocked a little chip off. I know that I've damaged the mental part of his game, but I do know that he's probably he might be a little stronger. He might be pushing a little bit more weight leading into this. So I'm preparing myself, and I'll be ready.
Yeah, you definitely caught him off guard with that, with that win, and obviously it's led to this great opportunity. And I know the world will be so excited to see what that match looks like. I did want to touch on something for some of the young people that support what we do, and some of the young people we support on a day-to-day basis. You have, you've taken breaks when you've needed to in wrestling, and you have, gone away to support your family and to look after your mental health, and you've done that, again, to support yourself. And I wonder, a lot of young people that we work with, they go, "Oh, well, if I get an opportunity, I have to keep pushing. I have to keep pushing to get to," and they get to a point of burnout, and they get exhausted, but not in a good way. They're just burning out. And I wonder, do you have a take on that as someone that has, had to take breaks before, been able to come back, been able to perform at the highest level? Do you think it's important for people, no matter how high pressure the job is, to take care of themselves and to take that time out for themselves?
An off season is extremely important in this business. I can't stress that enough. I literally can't stress that enough. This business can be extremely stressful. It can be extremely dark, which I don't fully think the wrestling fans take into consideration. I feel like the peer pressure from the wrestling fans and just wrestling in general can force people to continue to push because they feel like something different is going to happen. If you're burnt out, you're burnt out. If you can't think anymore, you can't think anymore. Everybody needs time away. Everybody needs to reset. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a spiritual, emotional, physical journey and break. Even if it's for a week, even if it's for, take 6, 7, 8 months off if you want to. I've done it, not intentionally. I mean, I've gotten hurt and had to get surgery, but I think having the break away from it is very important. So if you can find that time, if you feel like you are on a smooth, narrow, and just overall good path, but you feel like you want to take some time away, you don't have to push yourself past the point of exhaustion and depletion and everything else. So take a break. It's important.
Absolutely, man. A couple more questions, and before we finish, you're talking about, and again, that excitement comes across when you're talking about the real you and just being you 100%. And I wonder, what does that look like? Because, the world has seen the best of Lio Rush, right? The top quality matches, the matches all over the world in some of the biggest promotions in the world, including Impact, of course. To us as fans and to the world, we've seen the best of Lio Rush, right? How does it get any better? So what does the real you, what does that, being you 100% of the time, where you're at now, what does that look like to you? What does the future hold, and your legacy, I guess?
I think to show the worst parts of me too.
Okay.
I think that's just being yourself. I think just showing people that you're human. Just, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done. At the end of the day, we're people. We're human beings. And if you're not afraid to show the worst parts of you and the best parts of you, how are you truly just being yourself 100%? Yeah. So that's the season that I'm in. And I feel like I've done that over the years. People have seen everything that I've done in the wrestling business on a very positive level, but they've also seen the worst parts of me. I'm like some crazy wrestling Hollywood kid that has grown up, and everybody's seen me go through all of this stuff, both negatively and positively, but at least they've seen it, and they've seen the growth. Yes. They've seen the persistence and me believing in myself, and the persistence in me believing and vocalizing the things that mean the most to me, because there are people that look up to me, and I want people, if I have a viewpoint, I would like to lead those people and to inspire them and to motivate them to just be themselves. Just be yourself.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I'm going to give you the end. The last question, I'm going to hand it over to you. Obviously, we're in the UK. Whether it is a message for fans that are watching, whether whatever way they're doing that through the Zone or Impact Plus in the UK, whether it is a message for them or anything I've missed, is there anything that you would like to plug before we finish today, Lio?
I cannot wait to return to the UK so that I can get some vegan sausage rolls.
Nice.
I cannot wait. So please, everybody, if you see me, get me a vegan sausage roll. Please don't forget the sauce that comes with it because it's very good. But no more than 3. All right? No more than 3. I can't wait to see you guys again. I can't wait to wrestle in front of you guys again. And I can't wait to just be back home. England is a second home for me. So I absolutely can't wait to be back.
Fantastic, Lio. And thank you so much for making the time. We're so excited to see what your future holds in Impact. And of course, back in the UK, get this man some vegan sausage rolls. And we'll see you again soon, Lio. Thank you so much.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank you.